every situation too, and like you said, you can ask a guy who's been through that situation. Someone who's been through the minefield will tell you, here's the steps. But we have to ask. You have to be open, and that's what those communities are all about.
Yeah.
You sit around a table with a group of men. I mean, if he would have said just to read the Bible, I've done that before, right? But the key was, who are you meeting with?
Sure.
Who's your buddies?
This is Ryan and Michelle, and welcome to the Celebrate MarriageCast, where we hope to restore and reclaim godly marriages through honest and real conversations.
Welcome to episode 139. We are so glad you're joining us today. This is a tool and a resource to invest in your marriage, and thank you for taking this in time and investment in your own relationship. But as you're listening, think about who could you share this with that would really benefit? Who on your social feed would benefit from this content? Or who in your family would benefit? Ryan, we have a great show today.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Because we have some guests from within our church family, which is always a super special time to really get to know another couple within our church community and to hear their story about how God's working in their life. So today we are so excited to introduce you to Jesse and Gina Leikas. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thanks. Well, thank you.
We're so glad to have you here. Would you tell our listeners, if they're not familiar with who you are, if they maybe are outside of our community, would you tell a little bit about yourselves, how long you've been married, family, how long you've been coming to Celebrate?
Sure. Both Jess and I are small town North Dakota kids.
Okay.
And yes, back in the 80s is when I met Jesse. And the big thing to do back then was to go to Class B basketball tournaments. And always socializing and was a big thing, but there was a dance, and it was a Johnny Holmes dance. And this young man went ahead and asked me to dance. So after that, like I said, he just captured my heart as far as his 501 Levi jeans that were rolled
Nice.
and his high tops unlaced.
Jesse, you had style.
Yeah,
I was styling and
very
profiling.
much so. And I myself, big 80s hair, the shiny metallic shirt with my acid wash jeans, and Peter Pan leather boots. And yeah, like I said, feeling good, loving the 80s. And we danced and we started writing each other because that was the good old time of being able to write to one another. The excitement of getting a letter.
Because you lived further away?
Yep.
Okay, you met at this basketball tournament and then went to the dance, but you lived further away? Okay, cool.
So we exchanged phone numbers and addresses at that time and started writing to one another. So Jesse was 16. So
I feel like all of our younger listeners listening right now are like, oh my gosh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, that was a thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have a photo of this moment, this dance?
Not the dance, but after
I feel like these outfits are
Oh, I have quite a few of my
There's
80s
evidence.
stuff. Yes, there is evidence. That's for sure.
I love it.
After a year of dating or writing or whatever, I did ask him to prom.
Okay.
Because my school was bigger than his, and we were 50 miles apart. Is how we grew up. So I asked him to prom. So yes, Jesse was my prom date.
Awesome. And then how long did you date before you were married? And then how long have you been married?
5 years when we start from prom night to our wedding rehearsal supper was 5 years. Yep. So, and we just came upon on May 1st. It was 33 years.
Oh, congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations.
That's a lot of wisdom that you probably have to share then.
Yeah.
And a lot of learning, I'm sure, too.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and how long have you been coming to Celebrate then?
Coming to Celebrate, there was quite a few years where we're just kind of like unscheduled part-timers showing up for quite a few years. And then back in March of 2024, we started coming as a family.
Awesome.
Yep. So
I love it. I see you guys on the weekend, you have like a whole row of people because you have your kids and I feel like they bring friends too and you take up most of the row, and that's really cool to see you guys there every weekend.
Yes.
yeah, because if you look back in March 2024, I was probably on my way out. It was just me coming to church at that time. So to see that change that happened from then until now we have rows of people coming, it's powerful.
I'm excited to hear that story.
Yeah.
So, random question for you, just out of curiosity.
Is it about his outfit?
No, if you remember, do you remember what song you danced to?
Oh, a bunch of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I know one of them, it was a Johnny Holmes dance, so it was Hang On Snoopy.
Okay.
I don't
There
even
it
know.
is.
Like, I don't know what that is.
I'm going to look it up. Yeah.
Just those good old songs.
Nice.
Yes. No. Terrible.
All right. So 33 years. What was marriage like for most of those years?
I would say for about 30 of them, it was, don't want to use this word, but it is. It was kind of vanilla. I mean, we had a few ups and downs. We had some struggles to go through. There was times when, working 3 jobs to pay the bills, kids come along, trying to have her so she's at home, supporting the family that way, but never really doing too much as a family. Mm-hmm. We had to kind of shelf some of that stuff and just kind of survive. And, for those years, there wasn't a lot of excitement other than, the milestones like the graduations, or no real big vacations, no real until after in 2024. So it was, I look back and I'm like, did I let down the family? But then I'm also looking like, if I didn't go through those struggles, I wouldn't be the guy I am today, and we wouldn't have the strength of the family we have today. So,
Absolutely. I think a lot of times you end up finding yourself comparing to other marriages, when you go through your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and when it comes down to it, no marriage is the same. And Jess and I have just been a partnership, and we moved to Sioux Falls, and it was just him and I. We didn't have any family around, so we had to work together and rely on one another, and communication's key, all that kind of stuff. So we did it, but yeah.
I couldn't have went through the things I did without her.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
So I am guessing there are people listening today that might be able to relate to that, like what you just explained with it. It was just mediocre. It just was kind of vanilla average. We were just going through the motions. So what was it that changed? It was a few years ago. You alluded to 2024. You were on your way out of attending Celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
You were ready to what happened, and how are you guys here today on a marriage podcast?
I was very fortunate. A pastor here at the church turned to me one Sunday and said, "Jesse, I really don't know you. Why don't we go have a coffee? Why don't we go have our lunch?" And I said, sure. So it was going to be that Easter of that March. It was March 31st is when I was going to bring the family to church one more time, and we're going to exit, And so it was the 27th when we had this lunch. So God works in mysterious ways. And he got me excited about church again. And one of the things I'd asked him, I said, well, from the stage, you always ask people or tell people if you're getting back into the Word, they recommend a book, maybe one of the Gospels or whatever. And I said, what would you recommend for me? And he said, well, based on our conversation, I would say, why don't you go to page 1 and page after page.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, and that's what I did.
Started Genesis.
I did. And the other question he asked me was this. He says, who are the names, first names only, of the guys you hang around on a regular basis? And Ryan and Michelle, I had no one. Now, 30 years working, nothing to give them. So he goes, how about, would you be interested in being a men's group here at the church? And I said, sure. He goes, let me call the guys and I'll find out what time they meet and you can meet with them. I said, awesome. He calls me back and he says, by the way, that group is full. And I go, I can't even make friends at church. So he goes, but there is a group that meets at 6 a.m.
Okay.
And I've been with those guys ever since. So
Wow.
the key to the change was getting in the Word and getting around a table with men. And that's my story, and that's what I tell people. That's the key. And when that started happening, I don't know what changes my wife Gina's seen in me, but she started to come to church. And then when she started coming to church, the boys wanted to come to church. And like you said,
Baptized.
and we got baptized together
Yeah.
in that same year.
And your son got baptized recently too, right?
Both
Did I
of my
see that?
sons and my
Yeah.
daughter just recently too.
Okay.
So yeah.
Incredible. I love that domino effect of your life started to change, really change, and then it just trickled to your family.
And it wasn't telling them to come with me. It was just going.
They saw it.
And yeah.
Yes.
I think what I love about that is that you were vulnerable in agreeing to go to, lunch, coffee, whatever, with one of the pastors. But there might be people listening that are thinking, well, gosh, no one's asked me. But I would encourage people, make that ask. I'm sure that there are pastors, especially if you come to Celebrate, there's a pastor or another men's life group leader or Jesse or whomever, Gina, that would love to be your person to go have coffee with and maybe get them in the right direction.
And I would say too, if you see someone sitting by themselves, I was sitting by myself, go up and talk to the person. Say hi. Hey, maybe let's grab coffee.
I make
You never know.
That's like my personal, you know that.
Yeah.
Like if you're a single person sitting around us, you will probably get talked to by myself because that was my story. When I started coming, I was by myself, and our listeners know this. Most of the church, I've shared this from the stage, but I was strongly encouraged to come to Celebrate from a Christian counselor. She said, Michelle, like things are not well with you right now. Like you need to go to a church, meet some young people. You need to go to Celebrate. And now it's been 18, 19 years since I've come. And, but those first, couple of years, I came every week by myself. Most of the time I'd probably, be sitting there on my own. A few of the times I'd be crying and moved by the message. But I remember the people around me being so kind, and a lady putting her hand on my shoulder and just seeing me. And that meant a lot. So I feel like now when I'm in church, I try to do the same for others.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
And I think, Ryan, I really resonate with what Jesse said. When you started changing, it really encouraged our family to change.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think there's something really important, and I think not to go off on a tangent here, but also I do think it's really hard for men, and I see it a lot of just men having other men to share, to be vulnerable with. There's something, I don't know, there's some unwritten thing that, I'm a man, I can't I can't communicate, I can't share, like I have to keep these feelings inside. And I think our relationships struggle because we try to do it alone, or we think we know how to do it. And, I've said this before, marriage doesn't come with an instruction manual, and it takes other men to help. There's something super valuable about that. So I love hearing that story about, you feeling alone, and now there's power in community.
Oh yeah.
And that changes your life, that changes your marriage. And I think it's so cool to hear. And I hope that gives hope and encouragement to other men that, hey, you need to find community, and it's super important.
The three worst words as guys can say is, I got this.
Yeah.
Now I say, he's got this.
Yeah.
And every situation too, and like you said, you can ask a guy who's been through that situation. Someone who's been through the minefield will tell you, here's the steps. But we have to ask. You have to be open, and that's what those communities are all about.
Yeah.
You sit around a table with a group of men. If he would have said just to read the Bible, I've done that before, right? But the key was, who are you meeting with?
Sure.
Who's your buddies? Got me around the table. It was those guys that told me, get a study Bible. It was those guys that got me hungry for the Word. It was those guys that pour into us on that regular basis, and you help them too. It's that accountability. That I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to go to a men's group, but this church is full at 6 a.m. with men in a group, and there's energy and there's power in that. There's times when there's tears. There's times when stories are shared. There's times there's good times. There's bad times. There's times where we need each other, and you need that. And the other thing is, you can't just go with that. This person next to me has been the key to it all. those are just some other pieces, but it's been her. And sometimes you can get to that point where you maybe go off too far to more of the guys' things, more of that, and you take the time away from the family. But when she understands, I said, there's going to be some times I'm going to go up at 6 a.m., and do these. And she understood, and it's gotten us a lot closer. And man, there's been so much things have happened since March of 2024 with us that, man, it's amazing. More in the 2 years than the prior 30.
Gina, I see your eyes welling up, and I just want to know from like a wife's. I want to ask this kind of for the guys listening to hear, but also from a wife's perspective. What does it mean to you that Jesse is making this commitment for himself and for the family? Like, how has that impacted you?
Oh, he's always been my Superman, but I can see it in so many aspects about him. Like you said, the group, the men, the whole community of the church. I too have started serving, and I too started in a Bible group. It's huge. It's really huge. No, we've. I'm sorry, I'm tearing up, but no, it's been good.
Because it's powerful, right? Yeah. Like the change that you've gone through is so powerful. Totally. And I think when I think of the change that Ryan went through, I was the first one that started coming. Yeah. Ryan, we both grew up in the church, fell away during college years. And I was part of the catalyst to bring you back. But really, truly, Ryan, when you started, journaling every morning, you'd be up journaling, and night you'd be journaling in your Bible or in your notebooks that went with your Bible, and just these stacks of notebooks, and your growth and your change. When you started changing, I was so inspired. It was kind of like, oh wait, me too. Like I was so just in awe of what God was doing in you, that it really made me level up too with some of my spiritual habits and being in the Word. And our kids saw that too. And it really changed the whole dynamic of our family. So it's just, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think so many people see accountability as a negative thing, but I've always seen it as a point of elevation. It actually elevates you, which elevates your family, which elevates your kids. It's really a powerful thing. And a lot of people look at it as a negative, but being around people that will hold you accountable only elevates your marriage, elevates your life. And I think that was part of the key of being around people that would hold me accountable to it, to, being there every Sunday to serve in children's ministry. And even when I didn't want to, and just like some of those things to continue to encourage, our walk. It only elevated. It's elevated our marriage, our family. It's just been huge.
It eliminates the vanilla.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some rocky road.
Absolutely. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on in your lives right now.
You just get to the point, the older you get, it's pretty crazy, like going back to the comparisons of marriages. Every marriage is not a cookie cutter situation. It's your own. It's your own recipe. It's your own whatever. And people might look at Jess and I go, boy, they're kind of cracked. they're losing it. Or,
that'll never change.
Yeah, but you gotta let them think what they want to think and all that stuff. But I would just say that just seeing his growth with everything, the reading, like you were saying too, the reading, Jesse's forever writing notes. He's just always bettering himself, and he's very goal orientated. And I've just always, he's my go-to person whenever I'm down. It's like I said, we're entering a time right now where we're going to be officially empty nesters, which is going to be very weird.
Wow.
As our 19-year-old.
When is that happening?
In a couple weeks.
All
right. Extra prayers for you guys then.
Yeah. So, So we've got lots of changes coming up, and I'm not fearing it. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of like we're going to get to have our time together again. And at this point of our life, I guess, we never went on a honeymoon, put it that way. And his excuse was, you never told me where you wanted to go. And for the first time, Jesse and I flew somewhere together in October. And we went to the Smoky Mountains. We got a cabin in the mountains.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
we were like two kids. We had so much fun hitting the roller coasters at Dollywood. We went UTV trails with the gaiters and the goggles and everything. And we went zip lining.
Cool.
And bless him, because he does not like heights.
Oh,
and
wow.
he did that. He did that. And I tell you what, that time together, it's like, part of me was like, I wish we would have been doing that all along. But to be able to do it now, and now if we'd done that, it's like we want to do it again.
Yeah.
We want to turn ourselves into that.
And we actually took our boys on the first trip too, and we went to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, like I said, more has happened since I met him than just knowing who he was. That we were able to do the stuff that we've been able to do at a rate that we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. And for her too, I mean, one of the things that just warms my heart is I call her, and she's in the Bible, and she's from the sermon discussion guide, citing verses in the Bible for her group that she's going to be going to. And I think she's looking for the long verse, so she doesn't have to do that one in the group. But it warms my heart to know she's in the Word.
Yeah.
And that's something that, that wasn't, like I said, we were kind of unscheduled part-timers coming to church now and then, and that's about the only time I'd crack the Bible for quite a while.
Yeah.
So that is the growth I've seen in her too, as a mom and as a grandma. I mean, she's just an amazing woman. And for many years, kind of took that for granted, but not no more.
Mm-hmm. That's super sweet, you guys. Yeah, I love that. And I think too, just thinking about you guys being empty nesters, I feel like, Ryan, you kind of see this working with clients, helping them to get ready to retire, and you've seen life transition stages, but that can be a really difficult time on marriages because when people put their whole identity in their kids, the kids are gone, they don't know who they are with each other or even, their foundation. But it sounds like you guys have really worked, even just in these last 2 years, to have that foundation and to rekindle that relationship with each other so that you're set up for success when that season happens and you're looking forward to it and it'll just get stronger. So what advice do you have for our listeners that are tuning in today? Like, if you could give them one piece of wisdom, what would it be?
I mean, I would say you got to get in the Word and you got to find your community. That's the key. And if you're married, you find the community that helps you become a better man, a better husband, a better father, and a better grandpa.
Yeah.
But she's got to be by my side on this. That's the key to all of this. She's my little motivation when the times are tough, when it doesn't look good, and she's right there by my side. So, I mean, I guess she's my Adrian if I'm Rocky on that. But it's that's the key, because I've seen guys, like I said, they'll go gung-ho and leave the family behind or leave the wife behind because it all of a sudden that 3-letter ego gets back. And no, you have to side by side. She's my beautiful bride, and she's riding along with me. So that's the key. If you got to grow, but you can't leave others behind.
Yeah,
you got to. So
communicate, have fun. Yeah. Be silly.
And sometimes it's not we even communicate; we just connect. Yeah. And it's kind of goofy how that happens. We just have a connection. People might think we're a little goofy on some things, but
we have a lot of likes and dislikes, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever went to a restaurant where we've ordered the same thing.
Nope.
Everything is different.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
It sounds super fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys have an adventure.
Dessert menu. Yep. He's all chocolate. I'm all about, the weird ones like carrot cake or...
But I'm willing to finish what you don't eat.
Yeah.
Of course.
He picks it up. But no, it's okay.
I love hearing how you guys talk to each other too. It's very honoring and respectful. And yeah, it's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. Jesse, would you share about the men's ministry that you lead here? Just for people that are, attenders or members of Celebrate Community Church, I would love for them to hear about that.
Sure. So I'm involved heavily in the community groups and development of those, and then also a program called Authentic Manhood. Both of those, like say, for example, Authentic Manhood, the Bible, and community to me is my ABCs. Those all have to be working in coincide. And what that Authentic Manhood does is it takes you on a journey. They've been 24 weeks. We might have them coming out with one that's a little shorter here pretty soon, but it's where guys get around the table, we learn, and we become aware of things that we didn't know. One of my friends says, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And then once you become aware of it, then that's where you can start to work on it. And then a lot of that's with communication with the wife, but it's literally finding biblical principles to guide you, and then having guys around you for every mile of road, there's 2 miles of ditches, and we have to have those guys that can keep us on that road. And the Authentic Manhood program, community groups, if anyone comes up and talks to me, I'm saying, get in the Word and get around the table.
Yeah.
And we even have a tool, too, that's available on the website, just that sermon discussion guide. It used to be just a piece of paper to me, but man, when you take what was taught on Sunday and you take it deeper by going into those, man, the next Sunday is even more amazing because you went deeper on what they talked about. It wasn't just a one and done.
Yep.
And what we're finding, too, if a person can be in the Word about that 5 times a week, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And lots of the negative go away, lots of the positives happen. So, so it's find yourself a community. And what I also like, too, is we have varieties of them. We have everybody groups, we have the men's, we have the women's, we have the couples groups. So there's a community for you. Just reach out, and we'll help you. We'll help you find that.
We started a young couples group. Well, when we were young couples, and look at us now. So we just plugged in, and we're like
still a young couples group.
Slightly less young, but very hip couples group.
That's awesome.
Gina, did you have anything you wanted to add in for ministry areas that have really helped you?
Just being able to see the strength that he's gaining, it gets me kind of excited to know more. And you may think, oh, you're older, you're done in your ways or gone in your ways, you do what you want to do. I just think that your personal relationship with God is on your time, and it's like, I'm finally getting it. I'm a little slow.
There's no
but I'm
timeline.
getting it.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I think I love that picture of the side by side, because we've been learning this life has different seasons, and it will be changing, and even your marriage will be changing. But having that understanding of your side by side makes those changes, those seasons easier. And knowing that. And so I love that picture, and I think it's such a powerful image of just, again, because it's going to change. We're going through that right now. So
our daughter's engaged. Lately, it's season change. So.
Absolutely.
Circle of life.
Yeah. Well, guys, as we wrap up, we have 3 rapid fire questions we ask all of our guests. So if you guys are ready and willing, let's go.
I'm excited. We haven't asked these for a while, and this is going to be fun.
All right. So first one, what is your marriage why? Why is marriage important to you?
I think if I wasn't married to this beautiful woman right next to me, there would be a big piece missing. So my why is we complete each other, and we need each other to get through life. We need each other. I think we have our own little community at our home too, and that's it has to be in home, has to work too, not just out. So once you get home right, and I open in my coverage to get this one, but yeah. So that's our why. Our why is to be that example. 33 years. Mm-hmm. If there's a struggling couple out there, or whatever, hey, we've been there, done that, and we do that for our kids too, as that example of they see mom and dad together. That's the other important, and how we treat each other around our kids is our why. Because once we're gone, that's the example we leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're going to model that. Yeah. What they see.
Absolutely. All right. Your best date night
ever?
Or recently, whatever you want, whatever's.
It goes back to the Smoky Mountains for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an ultimate dream vacation for us, to be ziplining, him conquering that fear of heights.
That's so awesome.
500 feet?
Yeah. It was amazing. But I would have to say just that time in the mountains, it was just such a, I don't know, just beautiful. And to have fun like we did, we were just like little kids.
So awesome.
So that was probably the ultimate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Away from all the stresses and worries and just focusing on each other.
Just seeing God has for us.
Yeah.
When you overlook the Smoky
Creation.
Mountains, the view from the cabin, you just like,
wow, God.
Look what God did.
Yeah.
And,
So cool.
It's so
take that
cool.
time.
Yeah, I'm going to share just a quick story. Jesse, hopefully this will make you feel better.
Okay.
Because I also don't necessarily love heights.
I was going to ask you if you would zipline. I don't think you would.
Well, okay, so it was actually on our honeymoon.
Okay.
Did we zipline?
We did a cliff jump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we did. Into like a sinkhole.
Into a sinkhole, into water. And
Oh, man.
I was the only one that wore a life jacket because I was so afraid.
But you did it, right?
I did it.
But that counts as doing it, man.
I was the only one that wore a life jacket because I was terrified.
I can't believe I didn't wear one. Looking back at it now, it seems kind of foolish. But yeah.
Anyway,
You were smart.
Yeah, I was the only one, but that's fine.
Hey,
so
you did it. You did
I
it.
did
it. You guys did it.
I
You
don't
both
like
did.
heights,
Yep.
and I'm not that great a swimmer. So I'm like, I'm not dying in this.
Not on my honeymoon.
Not on my
awesome.
honeymoon. So
That's awesome.
yeah. Anyway, okay. And lastly, here, what's bringing you joy in your marriage right now?
They both have to answer this.
Seeing her smile, because we went through some tough stuff lately, and to see that smile back and that twinkle in her eye, it's that smile.
Just knowing he's always there. We're very blessed.
Yep.
Awesome.
Why am I getting so teary-eyed?
Hey, I mean, the camera's rolling. There's just something about the studio
So
where it's
good.
like just
Yeah.
real and raw, but
Yeah.
that's so good because people can see that
Yeah.
real change in you guys. You're not just sitting here talking and like,
No.
Jesus has changed your life. Like there's no denying that. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here today.
absolutely.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Ryan, any closing thoughts from you? You always have something.
I think this has just been such a great conversation, and as Michelle just said, I think it's the power of transformation. I think the power of community, of what God can do, and that's part of our story of being in a community group from the time we were dating.
Yep.
To help hold us accountable to date honorably, and to those things. It changed the trajectory of our marriage.
Yep.
And it's such a powerful thing. And I would encourage anybody listening to seek that out. And, again, it only will help to elevate. We've seen that today. And I think that's just, it's so, so powerful.
Thank you to our listeners for joining us today. We want you to know that the things that we talked about today, we also have on our website and our app. So the community groups that Jesse and Ryan and Gina were all talking about, you can find one on our website. Also, Authentic Manhood. Jesse, when does the next one start?
We'll be starting in the fall.
Okay,
Around
and
that
those are-
September 13th. area.
Those are fall kickoff. So those will be under upcoming events, or reach out to one of the church staff to get connected with that Authentic Manhood group. That will be transformative for you. We guarantee that. And also just know that we have that sermon discussion guide for your life group on our website as well, along with marriage resources at Celebrate.church/marriage. If you're new to the area or don't have a church home, we'd love to have you here on the weekend. You can find that on our website as well. Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Great week.